And we are back. Happy 2024 everyone. Before I start this video, I just want to say thank you to everyone that supported us, watched us, subscribed, liked or commented in 2023, but it is now 2024. We start the year off on a Tuesday. It is the 2nd of January 2024. And I feel like last year was just a warm-up year, so make sure you follow us along for all of 2024. I am excited to hit the ground running this year. Anyway, I'm here at the unit nice and early. It's 7:30. The lads will be getting here at 8. And after my first week off in around 3.5 years, I feel like I'm ready to come back to work. The rest was well needed, and I enjoyed every minute of it, but I do feel recharged and reset, ready to attack 2024. So today we are going to be slowly getting ourselves back into the swing of things, and it's a bit of a maintenance day. We have got some stuff that we didn't manage to finish due to parts not turning up and things like that before the Christmas break. So we've got lots of things to do in the unit today, but the rest of the week is absolutely stacked. We are fully booked. To be honest with you, we probably could have gone out today and worked. However, that's not the case. I need to make sure that this stuff is complete, so we're not always catching up for the rest of the season. Anyway, I'm going to wait for the boys to get here. The coffee is brewing. We're going to have a catch up and then we'll get back to it. It does feel good to be now back at the unit and removing all of the kit after a little Christmas break. So once we get all of the kit out, Ash hooks up the trailer and he goes on a little mission to collect a few things. But whilst he's doing that, we take the Trimax out the back and start jet washing it. This hasn't had an in-depth clean all season. It's had little sprays here and there, but it's now time for an in-depth clean. So we get the TFR sprayed on it and we give it a good jet wash. We're going to give this thing a proper strip back and a service today, and cleaning it is the first thing on the list. Now this gap here, we are going to be adjusting the height. It's mega important that we get all of the stuff out of there, all of the grass, any mud and debris, so it allows us to adjust the height up and down nice and easily. So we get cracking with that, the TFR is set in and we can now start cleaning all the baffles and deck. And this is the state of it at the minute. We got grass growing on it. Trimax would be ashamed of us, but she's a work tool, so you know, at least we are actually giving her a bath. Once the bath is done, we bring her back round the front and we start adjusting the height on all of the decks. Some of the bolts aren't accessible from the side, so we have to jack it up in order to get the wheel off so we can get to it. And we had a bit of a nightmare. One of the deck bolts snapped, so here's me grinding it off. So as you can see, day one of 2024 and we've already had a nightmare. So this year what I'm trying to do is drop the grass on some of our sites, especially some of our football clubs. Just from the year that we've had, what we've learned is that we're going to have to reduce that height a bit in order to keep it playable and probably introduce more cuts if the clients are willing to pay for them. So we're doing the height adjustment on the Trimax. Obviously it's an old machine, it's a series 3 Trimax, and one of the height adjuster bolts has snapped. We've drilled it out. Ash used his big guns to knock the old bolt out also, and luckily George Brown's is open today and they are dealers for Trimax, so I'm on my way over there now to get the relevant parts that we need to get it back on the road. Whilst I'm driving here, Ash and Rob are doing the rear brake pads on the van, and we also need to get the van serviced today. We also still need to service the Trimax. We need to do all of the transfer box oils on it, change those PTO covers that Trimax kindly donated to us all the way back in summer. We've been so busy, this is the only time we've got to fit them, and we need to get all of this done today because the rest of the week is so busy. However, I'll get over to Leighton Buzzard. I've already spoke to Dale Walker at George Brown's, so it should be a quick pit stop and then we'll get back to the boys and get this Trimax finished off. So I had no idea what bolts I needed, but the guys at George Brown sorted me out and got us on the road with some spares also. So with the boys having done the brake pads, we get the new bolts fitted to the Trimax, and luckily we got spares because I've got a feeling that it's going to happen to a few of these. They're all fairly rusted. And lo and behold, yet another casualty. We're having to drill these out and get new bolts in, and it took us to a really dark place. Literally and emotionally. Right, we are still at it. We've got 2 bolts left. We've backed the Trimax up, now it's back together to the front of the unit for a bit of light and to get out the rain. We are absolutely soaked. We've still got to change the oils in the transfer cases. We've done the brake pads on the van. We've still got to do the oil and air filter on the van. However, I'm pretty sure that we can wrap this up fairly quickly, but we'll just get on with it. So luckily we've now got a little bit of relief from the rain and some light as we're working in dark conditions. We get the wheel off so we can get to the front height adjuster of the rear deck, get it jacked up and make sure everything is safe and sound so we can start undoing the height adjustment bolts. However, we end up having another casualty shortly after this bar's being used on it. But they're all old and rusted, so I guess it's to be expected. But luckily George Brown's did give us some spares. I'm having to get the tap and die set out so we can remove the old bolts and then re-tap the holes to put new bolts in. I'm putting a nut the other side, basically just in case, and I will weld these at a later date to ensure that if we need to do it on site in a quick minute we can do. But everyone's happy and we're now tidying up, getting the unit nice and clean so we can go home for the night. What a day.
You've done really well looking at everything that you've done. So,
oh, what a day.
I know, it's all a bit much, isn't it?
Ash is just leaving now. It is probably about 6:45. We got in at 7 this morning. Obviously, we was not expecting so many things to go wrong. With the Trimax, literally every bolt snapped. It might have been a blessing in disguise because we've managed to put new bolts in everything. So if we need to make quick adjustments in the summer, we will be able to do that. But yeah, mega happy. Lads digged in today. It was wet. It was horrible. We had to work outside and it was our first day back. So mega happy with the team and extremely thankful that we've done what we have. We've now, in other news, we've now got a whiteboard. So the lads know exactly what's loaded up on every day. We are using an app, but we can now use the whiteboard for just notes about jobs, what tools have to be taken, or any notes about that job. So little reminders. But anyway, yeah, that's us done. I need to get home, have a bath. I was hoping to get home early today because I've still got some tenders to sort out. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, and we've finally got a fridge in the unit. So if you want to send us a sticker, we've currently got the Lawn Guy and CJ Garden Services on our fridge. See you tomorrow. It is Wednesday morning and we are on site at one of our new school contracts. The lads have already got the tools out. This site was maintained by the school site team for a long time, and due to staffing issues it's now been going out, but we've got a lot of cutbacks to do around the whole school. It's going to be a busy day. Let's get on with it. So we start off with everything at the front of the school just because it's easier and this is where all the vehicles are, and you can see that the hedges were in a really bad way, but we're starting to work through it, working as a team to get the height down and then tidy up as we go. All the front hedges weren't too bad, but as we're moving through the school we're doing all of the strimming, any bed work, any hand weeding we need to, and hedge work. We're just getting to know the site. This is our first cut back here and we're working through it, ensuring that we leave the place clean and tidy as we move through. We've got some areas around the back of the school, so now that the front area is all clean and tidy, we can start progressing our way round to the side and then get to the back. Some of the beds were so bad we decided to turn them over and then rake them to remove any weeds, but we're going to have to manage this in the future to ensure that they don't get really bad. We're doing the best we can, but this has been neglected for a fairly long time and we're on a limited time scale today, but we can catch up on any bits on reoccurring maintenance. So now that the front and the side of the school's done, we're now moving to the back. It's not too bad out here. There's several cluster of hedge areas and again they're all really overgrown, but there's not too much work, nothing that we can't handle. But something tells me there's going to be a lot of waste from this site. As well as the hedges, there's also our wacky woods that we got to maintain, but we'll show you more of that later. So we get tidied up the front and we start with the side hedges and out the back, and once they're done we can start working on those hedge clusters, again just getting everything cut and tidied as we go. We really love doing initial tidies because you can walk away from site seeing an improvement and know that you've put your little touches to it. But we're also mega excited to continue the maintenance here in order for us to set the precedence and do the reoccurring maintenance. We've only got a few areas left now, so let's see what happens. Cool, that sun's blinding, isn't it? Hang on. There we go. Anyway, the lads are still there. They're just finishing off a few areas. I've had to run because I've got a meeting. So on the way to the meeting, I'm going to drop the trailer off at the unit and then get to the meeting, and that is the boys done for the day. But yeah, it's a really interesting site. It's obviously just a school, hardly any grass. It's mainly just hedge work. So now that we've done the initial tidy, maintenance going forward should be a doddle. So it's another one to stick on the list. But that isn't the only new school we have won for this year. We've also won another 2 others that we're yet to do the initial tidies at. So I look forward to showing you them. Anyway, I'm going to get myself to this meeting and then get home, and we'll see what tomorrow brings, shall we? You join us on a Thursday? It's Thursday. Cool, having Monday off just muddled all my days. We've got the van in the unit, we're doing the service on it. Earlier on in the week you saw us, the day that we took too much time on the Trimax, we didn't manage to get the van done. So the van is now getting done. The boys are currently out the back fitting the PTO guards on the Trimax. So whilst the lads are out the back fitting the PTO guards kindly donated from Trimax, I'm in the unit getting the van serviced, but we quickly realised they were the wrong guards. I'm guessing the old owner changed PTOs on it, so they're not the Trimax book numbers. But anyway, the van's done, the brake pads are done, the oil's done, so we can now continue with the Trimax maintenance. We're changing all the oils in the transfer cases for the PTO, and I'm also giving the rear end of the tractor a service as well. New oil, ready for the new season coming. We get tidied up and we can now finally wrap up our maintenance morning. So we're just tidying up tidying the unit and getting everything prepped for our site visit. I'm just on the laptop at the minute trying to sort out some last minute bits before we go, so I don't have to do it when I get home later. Pretty stressed out. We've moved bank today and there was a blip in the standing order switch over and the current account switch over. So there was a period of time where my money wasn't showing in the old bank or the new bank, and it was quite stressful. However, it's now been sorted. I've just had a phone call from a contractor that's fairly local to us. I'm not going to name them as they might not want me to, but I feel like what we spoke about could provide value to the people that are watching this. So again, they've got vast experience as well. They've got some decent contracts, but it's nice that they actually picked the phone up. It's nice that they actually picked the phone up and asked another contractor in the area. And I feel pretty blessed that it was me that was asked, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's something that I think we can all help each other with. And anyway, the question was, so they submitted a tender, and there's 3 parties involved in this tender. So there's the site owners, a middleman who's a facilities management company, and then said person, which is the contractor. So the contractor has submitted their tender, been told today that it's been accepted, but told that they didn't provide enough information. Now this advice came from the middleman. The middleman is now asking the contractor to write a detailed scope of works for the contract and the site. Now, in my opinion, that is the middleman's job, because they are basically asking the contractor to write the scope of works, which is essentially the budget, and quote to that budget. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, but I've basically just given the contractor the advice to go back and say, this is what my quote includes, this is what it will cover. If you have got a scope of works or a detailed description of what the site needs and what you want, I'm happy to provide a quote. But essentially, I'm not writing the budget and the quote. So hopefully I've helped them out. But yeah, I just thought that was a bit of a low blow for the middleman to ask the contractor to do all of that work. Anyway, I'm going to tie up my computer work, rant over, and we'll get to site. Right, I'm finally on my way to site. The lads are already there and have started all the hedge works and any trimming / weed control that needs to be done. I had to shoot off because our house is going on the market and the photographer needed to come round. So I had to slope off. So there's going to be more people in the comments saying that I do absolutely no work. Anyway, let's get to site and see what the lads have done. Right, we are on site with the lads. They've already had a walk round and all the hedge works looks really good. It's managed to stay down over the Christmas period, which is good news for us. As you can see, we've got the trailer on the back. I need to go to the waste facility, so I'm going to leave the site in Ash's capable hands. Me and Rob are going to go to the waste facility and then head back to the unit and call it a wrap for today. Ash has got a few tasks to do here, just a little bit of hedge work, a little bit of strimming and some weed control. But other than that, this site stayed down really well, and unfortunately we can't get on any of the banked areas today just because of the rainfall that we've had in the last few days. The site health and safety team and us have agreed it's a no-go for today. So yeah, kind of a routine maintenance day, ticking boxes for a couple of sites and just navigating the poor weather that we're having. But I suppose it's first week back, so we can't get on top of everything all at once. See what tomorrow brings. Hello, Jack. Friday morning and we are on the way to the first site. We've been waiting at the unit for about 20-30 minutes to decide what we're going to do today. We've got loads of line marking to catch up on, and last night we had another absolute downpour. So we've got a couple of options with us today. We've got the trike, we've got a fleet push marker and the mark out bag, and we're just going to see what we can get done. We're going to have to visit every site and see what is possible. And whilst we're heading to our first site, looking out the window, it's not looking good for the day. Will we make any money at all today? Okay, we are over at the first site and it's actually not too horrendous. It's walkable. I don't know if we would get the trike on it. So we're going to have to get the fleet pedestrian marker out and attempt it and see how we get on with that. And that's exactly what we do. We get the pedestrian marker out. We get the fleet marker with some paint and water in it for the first time in a long time, and we start our duck walk to get the lines on the ground. The ground's actually holding up really well. It may be able to take the trike, but we're not going to risk it. It doesn't matter how far you come with your efficiency, sometimes you've got to go back to basics in order to get the job done. But now that's done, we can get the fleet back to the van and get it cleaned out, ready for the next site. As soon as we got to the next site, we knew that the trike was a no-go. But there's only 6 pitches here and it's not too bad. We can all alternate on the pedestrian marker to hone our duck walk and ensure it's really good. But anyway, let's get these pitches done and we can move on to the next one. So we are at the next site and I've just jumped out to inspect the pitches to tell the lads what equipment to get over and get prepared. And there's 2 pitches that the trike can go on. The ground is pretty much fine for the trike. But anyway, this site is called Woughton on the Green, and I'm officially going to go home and rename it on Wikipedia. I'm going to need to channel my inner Captain Jack Sparrow if we're going to get the line marking done here today, which I don't think we will. Anyway, let me show you why. This is a problem. This is a big problem. There's obviously a river that runs out the back of this, and I don't know whether the authorities have opened the floodgates or whether it's burst its banks, but this is a problem. But anyway, I've called Alton Towers and let them know that if they want to relocate the Rubber Dinghy Rapids to come to Woughton on the water. Let's get the trike out and get the pitches that we can do done. So with the trike out and avoiding all of the wet areas, we can do all of the marking on the pitches that we are able to. The ground's actually taking it really well, considering this is next to an absolute valley of water. You can see on the ground there's hardly any marks on the ground, which is really weird that it's irrigating well here but not down the bottom. Hopefully it don't rise. But anyway, we take our turns and we get the 3 football pitches done here. And having been walking all morning with the pedestrian marker, it's nice to finally get back onto the trike. Let's pray that the sights for the rest of the day are trikeable, but if not, always got a backup plan. So we're now at our next site, and this one is trikeable. So we get it out, we get it fueled up, and we get it ready to paint the ground. We've got a few pitches to do here. We've got 11 in total, and we're alternating, keeping ourselves sane whilst waiting. Whilst we're done there, we move to our next one, which is a school. Another 5 pitches to do here, and again, they're all clear for the trike. So we get it out and we start spraying on the ground. It's starting to look good, and it looks like we are going to be able to complete all of the clients for today, which leads us on to the last client of the day. So we've actually been mega lucky today. Every site we was meant to do and meant to catch up on, we've managed to do, either negating waterlogged pitches by using a lighter piece of equipment or being able to get the trike out like Ash is doing now. But yeah, mega lucky. Next week it doesn't look like we've got as much rainfall, so hopefully it's not a trend moving forward to mowing season. And just a reminder to everyone that is in our industry that mowing season is not too far away at all. And we are definitely mega excited about that. Bring back mowing, get me back in that tractor. Anyway, we've got 11 pitches to try and grind out here before it gets dark. We are all taking turns on the pedestrian and the trike. So we'll get this done and update you as the events happen. Right, end of Friday, and we are back at the unit. We're going to get all the kit packed up and sorted and ready for tomorrow. We are working tomorrow, so we shall see you in the morning. We are on site and it is Saturday morning. It is 8 o'clock and it's still kind of dark, but if this was last week, it would probably be pitch black. Anyway, this is a brand new site to us, so we are just going around getting detailed photos of before, and then we've got to start our initial tidy and get the first maintenance done at this site, but it's mainly hedge work. We'll show you around quickly. So this site's mega straightforward. We've got this car park and all the hedges that wrap around the back and the front of the building that you can see here. Keen viewers will know that this is the one that we installed the gravel border on a few weeks ago. So we'll get the hedge cutters fueled up, get good to go and get cracking. So I start donning the strimmer and I get all of the strimming areas done, whacking back all of the long areas of grass, whilst the boys are working together with the hedge cutters to get all of the hedging down. We're starting at the back and we're going to work our way round the front to get all of these hedges in check. These are mega long and haven't been maintained for a long time, so we're really looking forward to seeing the before and afters on this one. Right, we are nearly there. All the hedge work is pretty much done and it is looking fantastic. We're just going to walk around now and do a final trim of all the curbstones, hard standings, any wispy bits. Now that we've cut the hedge back, it's showed the curb line, so we just need to get all of them trimmed. And what we'll do is Rob will follow Ash. Ash will be trimming and Rob will blow behind just to speed the process up because it shouldn't be too much mess. But yeah, this hasn't taken us long at all. It's not where we want the site totally yet, but it's a whole lot better than it was when we turned up this morning. Again, we need to try and get some weed control down here, however it's going to be when the weather allows, but it's all looking nice and formed and neat and tidy now, and most importantly safe for the people visiting this dental clinic and doctor's surgery. So we'll get a few clips of blowing up and tidying up here, then we've got to head to another NHS site. And we are at the next site, which is our NHS site. What I'm going to do here, we need to try and crack on and get this sorted pretty sharpish. So we're going to get all the hedge works done here and I'll give you a quick overview of what has happened when we finished it. And we are all sorted, so we've done all the hedge work here. There's an alleyway that we had to clear out and cut back, but we can never get access to it because reception's normally shut and we couldn't get the key, but we could today. So that is done and ticked off the list. Now, as you know, we've now got a whiteboard in the unit, so we've got a list of things to do so we don't forget. And one of those is new wipers for the van. So we're all now going to run over to Halford's and grab some wipers. I also need to grab a printer to print some tender documents off because mine is absolutely rubbish. And it takes about an hour to print anything because you can't connect to it. It's mega old, so I'm just going to get a new one. But yeah, let's get on with it. Now, I get several messages every week asking who supplies our workwear, so we might as well show you. So this is Champion Workwear based in Kettering. They look after us for all of our safety, PPE, workwear and anything you need to do with this stuff. They've got a fantastic showroom and they do sales all over the UK. So give them a contact. This is the range that we're currently using and we absolutely love it. But they've got plenty of stock for everyone. And if it's not out in the showroom, they'll have a catalogue for it. So email them and request for a catalogue. They've even got boots in size 14 to fit my massive feet, would you believe it? It always keeps the lads happy when we come here because it's a fantastic team and there's some good kit to look at. So thank you to the Champion Workwear team for always looking after us, and this is where the magic happens. We are all done for the day and I'm back at the unit just doing the tender requests with the new printer. We've marked out next week on the whiteboard and we are ready for another busy week. But thank you so much for watching us this week. Again, if you have liked this video, please share it to someone else who may like it. Maybe even put a little screenshot on your Instagram and tag us in it. And we might send you a little gift for doing so. We've got some news coming up where people could potentially buy either hoodies or hats or water bottles. Let us know if you think that's a good idea or if you think it's a waste of time. But we will see you again in the next video. An episode of Behind the Blade next week. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!